Hello everybody and welcome back to Factory Town. As always, I am Dor. Today we're going to go ahead and hopefully complete both levels here on the tech tree. And then we might also make a decent stab at completing the potion stuff here as well. But before we can even do any of that, we need to go ahead and place down a laboratory so that we can go ahead and start generating the little trees and the little gears, because that's what we need now to go ahead and start researching things. So we're going to go ahead and plop that down right over here for right now. And let's go ahead and see what we need for the recipes. So we're going to need the books coming to this building. We're going to need metal coming to this building, which we don't have being produced just yet. And we're also going to need the herbs being brought over as well. So let's go ahead and toggle both of those for right now. And where do we have herbs at? I think we have herbs on this little island somewhere. So we have them over there, and we have cotton right here. Is there anything closer? Not really at the moment. So we might honestly want to go ahead and remove this, because we have metal right here, we have the herbs over here. We can just set up a little building thing over here to go ahead and kind of cut down on the travel time, and then we can have the little books getting brought over to the schools. So I think that's what we'll end up doing instead. So let's delete this for right now. We got our stuff back, right? Yeah, we got our stuff back. So we're going to have metal getting processed. Do we even have that mine thing built, or the forge? Yeah, we do have the forge. Okay, so we can have the forge right over here. Something like that should work. I think we should be able to go ahead and have a chute coming off of this mountain and just going right into the building pretty much. Let me see. Is this going to drop down far enough? It's going to be a little off, but that's fine. Can we get you to drop all the way down into the building? I don't know if that's going to work. I don't think that will. Let's just go ahead and move the building for right now. That's fine. It's not going to be too big of an issue. Can we get you to drop as low as possible? There we go. Now we should be able to go ahead and place a forge back right there. And something like that should work, I think. Let's go ahead and set the recipe on this. We're going to need to be bringing the wood over, which is another easy thing to just set up. We can throw a forestry there and have a little chute feeding the building. Not a big issue. Let's go ahead and have 3 workers bringing the metal over to the chute. And let's just see if that's going to feed the building or not. It's going to roll down. Is it going to go into it? It is indeed. Sweet. And then we're going to need that metal going into a laboratory. So let's place the laboratory over here for right now, because we're going to have a wagon or something bringing it back to the school. So right there should be fine. I'm not too worried about it. Let's go ahead and have both of these things toggled again. And that should work. And then all we got to do is have a conveyor belt from this building bringing the metal over to this for right now. So do I have conveyor belts built? I should, right? Yeah, I have 223 of them, or 231 of them built. So we should be able to go ahead and just plop one of these things down like this. So let's go from here over to there, and then let's do one more. Something like that should work. And that should be bringing the metal ingots out, putting them into the building. We need to go ahead and throw a little forestry building up. Do we want to waste the forestry building on this? I don't really think we need to, honestly. We can actually just go ahead and throw a couple workers down and just have them harvesting the lumber and bringing it to the building. That way we don't have to burn a building on doing that. We should have enough lumber being generated from these guys to fuel this building up, no worries. And let's also throw a worker over here. So we're going to go ahead and do probably 4 of them as well here. Do we want to do 4 of them? We'll do 4 of them for right now. It should be fine. And can we build one of the silo things? We can't. We need metal for that. We can put them into a crate and then have a wagon dragging it across. So I think we'll do that. Let's go ahead and have these guys dumping their herbs into the chest. And then we'll just have a wagon grabbing from the chest and dropping it off in the building that it needs to go into. So we need those getting picked up. We need you grabbing, dropping. I think I'm also going to do that right here with the lumber guys as well, just for a little ease of convenience thing going on here, so that we don't have so many people walking to the building over and over again. So we'll go ahead and just plop a crate right here. We'll have these guys grabbing lumber, dropping it off there. We'll have the crate or the wagon grabbing the lumber and then dropping it off on the building, just like it was doing a second ago. I had this guy go to the wrong building. Oops. Let's have this guy pick up and then drop off to that building. That should fix it. And that should be everything in motion. Now we just need the books coming to this building, and then we need the finished product from this building going to the school. Okay, so let's throw a quick little pathway down so that our workers and stuff can go ahead and get around a little bit easier. So for right now, the books that we're generating in our workshop over here, I'm just having go straight to the building. I'm not doing the school anymore because we have 3,300 points backlogged in our research catalog thing here, and I don't think we need those points anymore. We pretty much just need the little gears and little nature book tree things, so I'm just going to go ahead and focus in on those two items for right now, and if we need those research points again, which we do need them for some of this stuff, we'll go ahead and start researching the books again, but for right now we just need the other items. We should be able to get most of the stuff that we need to go ahead and complete the level with what we have backlogged at the moment. So now all we need to go ahead and do is plop down 2 more wagons, and those will both be carrying their specific books here. So we need the gears going on over to the school, so let's do that. And then we need this one grabbing the little tree books, which are going to be these guys here. And that should go ahead and start generating those 2 points for us. And then we should be able to go ahead and research the last couple things here in the tech tree so that we're able to go ahead and progress through the tech levels here. One of the things I also realized in between episodes is I thought I had to go ahead and trade to these buildings, but we don't actually have to do that. We can go ahead and trade them the first item here, and they'll give us the secondary items. So on these buildings over here, there were the potion things that we need, but I don't know if we do this, if it's actually going to count toward the goals that we have, because it says to produce, items produced. So I don't think this counts as items produced. But a quick way we can go ahead and check that is if we just go ahead and grab some of our grain and just trade it to the building over here. So we need 10 items for one of the health potion things. So let me grab 10 items. Let me actually spawn in. Let's see. We're going to do 3 wagons because each one carries 4 items apiece. So we're going to have these guys grabbing the grain that we're producing here, and we're going to have all 3 of them go to that trading depot and see if when they get there they turn in the thingy, we can take that potion and trade it with our market here, if it's actually going to count toward that challenge or not. So let's go ahead and have all 3 of these guys grab and drop over here. Hopefully there's a pathway for all of them to get there. So these guys just now got here, and they're going to go ahead and get us one of the health potions. I'm going to go ahead and turn one of these wagons into a health potion wagon to go ahead and carry it back. Or actually, before we even have this thing going back, it did indeed count for the items produced. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do, if that's actually going to count like it just did, we can have our train. We can make a train and have it connected to this one. That's the health potion one. I think that's the only one this one sells. It does indeed. Okay, so it's only the health potion for this guy. Does this one sell the things that we need? It does not. Okay, so we can connect this one for the health potions. We can connect this one for the elixirs, although we might want to go ahead and craft that one ourselves because it looks kind of pricey. We need magic cloaks, we need wards, and we need gold, not glass. We might make this one ourselves, depending on how expensive that is to actually produce. And then the one all the way on the right side here, we can go ahead and make the green ones that we need for only 1 apple jam, which is just going to be apples and sugar in a kitchen, which is pretty simple to make. Let me pop open this thing again. We only need 50 elixirs, though, to go ahead and complete that. We can actually do these 2 right now. I think we should have some rails, and hopefully it doesn't matter if they're metal rails or wooden rails, because we should have a bunch of the wooden ones, which we do indeed at the moment. And we are climbing up the research tree here slowly. Do we have enough to do anything right now? We do not. We need the machinery one to go ahead and make the conveyor belts and the metal wheels, and I think the metal rails as well. I think we just need that one research, and that's all of the things done. Oh no, I guess we need this one too. Okay, so while we still climb up the research points here to go ahead and unlock those things, I'm gonna see if we can connect a train to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just delete these 3 wagons because we don't need them anymore, and hopefully there's not an issue running the wooden rails versus the metal rails. I don't know. It's probably just going to be a speed difference if it's like the conveyor belts. There's a very slight speed difference. So we'll go ahead and have this thing kind of swoop on by. I think this thing needs to go ahead and unload, which it does indeed. Okay, cool. And then we need to go ahead and connect the train to this thing. So how do we do that right now? We could go ahead and have the tracks loop around, I guess, unless we can go right through the middle here, which I don't know how tall the train is going to be. Can we go underneath this? We can, it seems. So I guess we can go ahead and have it go from here. Oh, wait, is it a specific side that it needs to be output on? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and pop that there. Do I need to go ahead and pull a grabber on here? I think it's a different item that we need for the trains. Or maybe it still works with a normal grabber. It looks like it's highlighting the item at least. So we'll go ahead and give that a try and see if it works. I could have sworn there was a loader and unloader. Here we go. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Let me delete this really quick. And then we can go ahead and plop a minecart loader because that's all we have unlocked at the moment. We don't actually have the trains and stuff. So we're going to have a loader going from here, and we're going to have that going all the way back to the thingamabobber. If I could remember the controls here for 2 seconds, and I keep pressing the wrong buttons, let's go here, and then we're going to have this connect into that, and then we need to go ahead and wiggle our mine track over the mountain here and connect into this building for right now. Let me go ahead and do that. It should take a second. Okay, so that's the track completely laid. Let's go ahead and plop a minecart on here. I don't know if we need to go ahead and have the track loop around or not. I don't know if it's gonna like push the minecart off of the track when it hits a dead end here, but by placing that we just unlocked the metal rail for some reason. It also didn't grab anything from this building. Let's see if it does now. There we go. It grabbed 10 of them, and it's not going to automatically just turn itself around. Okay, how do we fix that? We can go ahead and have a little loop on the end of it. I guess that should work, right? We're only going to have one of these things on here at a time. It's not going to crash into itself, I don't think. Let's go this way, and we can go ahead and just loop it. I had it going the wrong way. Let's go ahead and just have it go this way, and then back into the track. Should work. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Can we have you go this way? Is that going to work? I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, that is definitely not going to work. Okay, so let's actually delete this stuff because I just messed this up completely. Is that going to break the minecart? It didn't break the minecart. Okay. Okay, so hopefully that works. We have a little loop-de-loop that goes in and back around. It let the minecart go. I don't know if this is going to have issues going up hills or not. I hope it doesn't, and it doesn't seem like it does, so that's great for us. Let's go back over here. We need to go ahead and do a little loop on this side as well. So it should be pretty simple. We just need to go ahead and have this thing turn, and then we're going to have it go that away. We don't need it to be that big of a loop. And then we'll just go ahead and have this turn onto there. And it doesn't really matter which way it goes to go ahead and drop off because it's going to stop there no matter what to go ahead and unload. So where's this thing at? It's right here. It'll be there in a minute. It's pretty slow, but the only thing it should be grabbing should be the flour. Yeah, that's the only thing we're producing there, so I'm not too worried about setting up a filter. And then this is going to only backlog until it hits 50, and then it's going to stop. And it unloaded instantly, and it also got a massive speed boost from going down that hill. Okay, so what I think we'll end up doing, because we don't really need the stuff that this is going to be making to sell it. We could go ahead and get a little bit of a benefit by putting it into the town to sell it to the people. But I think what we'll end up doing instead is actually just placing down a crate right here, and we'll just automatically feed into it the potions instead of having this thing stop once it hits 50, so that way we can keep generating more than that. Let's go ahead and plop down the... Nope, that's the wrong one. Let's plop a conveyor belt, and we need to go ahead and throw the filter on this, and that should go ahead and take the stuff that it's producing. It's going to only store 20 in this, though, so we need to plop down a couple more of these so that we can store 50, and then another 50 in the store as well, so that we have the full 100 generated. So let's actually plop down another one of these. And then we can plop down another one of these guys. We need 2 more of these, actually. So let's go ahead and do this and then this. And then we can go ahead and just have another conveyor belt in between, like so. So we have 60 storage in the crates, another 50 in there, and that should be plenty of potions to go ahead and complete that quest. Let's also go ahead and set a speciality for our town, which the only one we have available right now is the processing one. So let's go ahead and just toggle that to go ahead and give us a little bit of a boost. And I forget what we needed for this building over here. We need apple gem, right? That was it. So we have apples coming down the line now. We have a chute just automatically feeding the town. If we click on this, we have pretty much 100% on all the things that we have coming into it, which is pretty nice. But we need those apples getting split off and being mixed in a kitchen with sugar. Do we have sugar anywhere? We should have some somewhere. That would be great if we had some right next to the little shop thing here. Oh, you know what? we kind of made this more convoluted than we had to. We have a ton of yellow coins, and that's pretty much all we need to go ahead and kind of automate this whole process. So let's actually do that. Let's go ahead and plop down a forestry building. So we need this guy. This is going to go ahead and automatically harvest the apples for us. And then we need one of the farm buildings to go ahead and automate the sugar cane. So that can go there. And then we need these two buildings feeding into a kitchen. So something like that should work. Let me go ahead and plop it. Yeah, we'll plop it right there for right now. That should be fine. We're going to have this guy making sugar cane, or making sugar, not sugar cane. So that guy's going to be making sugar. That's all he needs to make. This guy's going to be harvesting apples. That's all this thing's going to be making. This one is going to be making the apple jam that the building needs, like so, and that's it. This one also needs to harvest some lumber because we need fuel for the kitchen to actually run. And then all we need to do is conveyor from the building over to the trading post, and that's going to start generating those green ones. And let me actually see how many of the green ones we need. So we need 50 for the tech level, and then we need 100 for the victory condition. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again with the little chest line to go ahead and pull them out of the building. So let's go ahead and plant the things that we need. So we need a couple trees. We're not going to go too crazy with the trees. We don't need too many of them. So let's just do a little grouping of 9, or maybe 2 groupings of 9, just for the sake of being safe with it. And then we're going to go ahead and plant some apple trees. And again, we'll do another 18 of them. And we have enough room if we need to go ahead and plant more of those. And then on the farm, we need to go ahead and place down some sugar cane. So with this, we'll just do another 18 of them as well, just for the sake of hopefully having enough being generated. And then just for the sake of ease, we're just going to go ahead and use conveyor belts instead of chutes, because I don't know if any of these can go down them. I know the apples can, I know the lumber can, but I'd rather just get this done in one go instead of trying to like nitpick it and try and get it to work if it doesn't work here. So that should be the sugar. And we just need this one connecting into that, this thing connecting over to this, and oops, and that should be the line done. Let's go ahead and set this on apples. We can set this one on lumber. And that should be all we need to do. And then we need to have another conveyor belt from the kitchen over to the little building. So that should work. And then we can go ahead and do the conveyor belts out of this to go ahead and go into boxes. So that'll work, and that'll work. And then we can just go ahead and place down the little buildings or little crates on top of those. So that should work, and that should work. We actually need to delete these things. I didn't realize that. Let me fix that really quick. So we need a conveyor belt going here and here. And then we need this guy grabbing the green stuff. And that should be this line completely set in motion. Once these things start growing, we'll start generating the antidotes. And over time here, we'll go ahead and complete that tech level. Let me actually see. We should have enough stuff to go ahead and plant the farm tiles, which we do indeed. Let me go ahead and plant those on the sugar stuff and see if they grow faster. And then I think there's also one for the trees. There is indeed. Okay, so let's go ahead and do those as well, just for the sake of seeing if these things grow faster or not. Do I not have enough money for these? Why am I not able to just drag and drop? I don't know why I can't drag and drop on these things, but it's working on the apples nonetheless, so that seems to work. And let's see. Let's go ahead and connect this thing with water before we leave here. We'll just go ahead and plop down like 3 or 6 of the wells here, and then we should have enough of the pipes in our inventory to go ahead and just connect the thing together here. So let's go ahead and have them all going to the left, and then we can have these guys going downward and over. And why are none of the things green on the farm building here? I hope I can connect into it. It needs water. Yeah, they're just not green for some reason. I'm not sure why, but there we go. We have those things connected. It should be running, and we can go ahead and go back to our business over here. We can actually cut out the minecart from this little process as well and just put a farm over here by this one to speed up the whole process as well here. Which, can I plant the wheat on this little sand bit? I can't. So maybe we just leave the minecart alone because we can't plant the stuff on the sand here. Can I plant it on a farm tile? No, it's not a compatible flooring type. Okay, so that makes sense. No big issue here. Let's go ahead and research the things that we need. We need some of the stuff that we have available now, or that we have available now, yeah, because we have enough points. So we need to go ahead and do the machinery one. That's going to unlock the machine shop for us. And then I think we're going to have to do this one as well, which we do indeed. So we need another 100 of the cogs, which we have 60 right now, so that'll be done in a minute. And I think we also need the metal rail. Let me just double check that. We need metal rails, which are the normal looking rails. I think these are the train rails that I was looking at here. Yeah, those are the metal railways. We don't need those ones. Or I guess we do. It says metal rail right there on unlocks. So we need another 100 on top of the 100. So we need 200 of the cogs, and then we're done with the research for this little level. So let me go ahead and let the game run for a little bit, because that'll go ahead and take a little while for those to go ahead and generate. But in the meantime, these things should be done by the time we come back, because we're already at 8 of the red ones. Actually, those are going to take a while to go ahead and complete, but we have 8 of the red ones. And why are the sugars not going into here? They're already at 20 sugars. Okay, that's why. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let this stuff run for a second. I might go ahead and throw another minecart or two on this thing, because the red one is going to take a little while with how slow that thing is. But it should be kind of fine, I think. So we just now got enough of the cogs to go ahead and research one of these items. So let's go ahead and do the conveyor belts for right now. I think that'll be easier for us to go ahead and get going. I think we should have enough of the conveyor belts and the rails to go ahead and finish this. We've also managed to go ahead and get 48 of the green bottles, the antidotes, and another 12 of the health potions. So mainly the only one we're going to have to actually set up the apothecary to go ahead and produce is going to be the elixirs. Actually, let me see really quick. We can go ahead and unlock the basic medicine one. That's going to give us the apothecary, and then we can go ahead and see what that yellow one's going to consist of needing to be made. And if it's harder to do than the stuff over here at the trading depot, then we'll go ahead and do the trading depot instead. So let's go ahead and plop one of those things down if we have the stuff to do so, which we do indeed. So let's see what the recipe is for this. We only need... Oh, we can only get this from a trading post. We can't actually make it in a building. I misunderstood that. I thought we had to go ahead and craft it in the apothecary, but we have to actually use the trading depot. Okay, so this building's pretty much useless for us. I also went ahead and just threw a conveyor belt down to go ahead and bring the books to the building over here, because the little wagon that we had was just too slow. It wasn't able to keep up. So now we're generating points a little bit quicker, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of this minecart, because this thing is pretty slow. It's generating way slower than the little setup that we did for the green stuff. So what we're going to go ahead and do is delete all of the trees that are right here on the mountain, or not all of them, but a decent amount of the trees right here, so that we can go ahead and cram in the little farm thing up here, so that we can go ahead and generate the wheat up here, and then have it shooted down toward a bakery thing to go ahead and turn it into the grain, and then have it go to the building instead of this whole little minecart journey that it's on right now. So let's go ahead and place down the farm, and we'll go ahead and place it somewhere that we can go ahead and hopefully hit as many of these tiles with stuff as we can. I don't think we're going to need that much being generated, but that should do the trick. We can go ahead and cover the ground here with the farm tiles. We have plenty of the fertilizer in our inventory, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And we're kind of on a hill, so that we don't have a whole lot of places we can actually plant this, unfortunately. Let's cover as much as we can, though. Okay, and then we need this guy making the grain. And then we need to go ahead and cover all of this with grain as well, I believe. I don't think it's going to do it automatically. And then let's see, we just need this to go ahead and shoot on down the hill here. So something like that should work. Actually, we need to delete a little bit of that because it's not going the way we need it to go. And we just want this to go ahead and hit the ground just like we had the other thing that we just set up a moment ago. So that should work. We need that going into the food processor, the food mill. So something like that should work. We need this guy producing the flour, and then we can just go ahead and conveyor belt it, to be honest, so that we don't need this minecart anymore. So that's a pretty simple thing we can just go ahead and set in motion. We are going to have to start producing more conveyor belts because we need these to go ahead and make the metal conveyor belts, which we're kind of just burning through all the wooden ones that we have right now. We're down to 115, and we need, I think it was 100 though. Oh, we only need 50. So yeah, we don't need to make those anymore, but we should be good with this. Let's go ahead and throw 2 workers in here, throw 2 workers in there. And now this should start producing the red ones a little bit quicker once the wheat is ready to go. For whatever reason, the green ones stopped. I don't know what's happening over here. It, for whatever reason, isn't pulling out. It's not pulling out because the conveyor belt isn't in the right direction. Let's go ahead and fix that. I didn't realize that happened. There we go. Okay, so now we have the green ones back in motion here. That should just trigger the 50 at least, because that's what we were right next to. We did indeed. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and focus in on the yellow ones. That's all we have left to go. So we have the little torch looking things being produced in this trading depot. We have the little cloak things being produced in this one, and then we have gold ingots, which we can probably just set up right here, which we can just have some people mining that and putting it into a forge and then automatically dropping it into this. So let's go ahead and do that just to get it out of the way, and then we can conveyor or minecart stuff over to this building that we need. So where is the forge? Here we go. We can have this thing set to be making gold ingots, which we don't have that unlocked right now. We need the jewelry research thing. What is that under? Oh, that is locked under Tech 5. Okay, so we can't actually do the yellow elixirs until we hit Tech level 5, which we need the metal rails and the metal wheels to go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's actually set up a machine shop then, so that we can go ahead and start generating those. And I don't actually remember the recipes, so I'm going to go ahead and plop this down for a second. Oh, we actually need 20 of the reinforced planks, so we need this guy actually making the nails again, so that we can go ahead and start producing those. I'm going to crank that up to 5 as well. And let's see, where do we make those planks again? I do not remember. Is it this building? It is indeed. Okay, so we need metal ingots and the metal nails coming to this building to start producing those. So let me go ahead and just plop a couple wagons down. So with that in motion, we should have the reinforced planks going into our storage building eventually here. It's going to take a little while for those to go ahead and get generated. But now we have our flour and grain line up and going. So now we should be climbing up the red stuff a little bit quicker than we were a minute ago. Yeah, we're up to 18 now, so we should kind of get there eventually. We can go ahead and pause our antidote line because there's no real need for us to use that anymore. So let's see, what do we need for the cloak? We need the red potions that we're generating in the other trading post, and we need 5 milk being brought over to the building, which we can go ahead and have this thing producing animal feed, or turn this into a grain farm, feeding animal feed to a food mill to go ahead and turn that into animal feed, and then having that go into a pasture, and we can just kind of conveyor right over to this thing. That shouldn't be too big of an issue. The only thing we're going to have to do is bring the potions from here over to there, which I kind of want to go ahead and research the trains then, if that's the case, because that minecart is just not going to do it. It's so slow. So we have another 100 of the cogs here. Let's go ahead and do the metal railways, and hopefully, I think that's the last one we need to do. Actually, no, we need the jewelry thing too, right? Which we need. I don't know what we need for that just yet, but I think the jewelry one is going to be the last one we actually need to go ahead and research at the moment. So I'm not going to do any more of these. The mining one would come in handy, but I'm not going to waste the points on that just in case we need the cogs for the jewelry one. But what I think I'm going to go ahead and do, right, because we need the green things from this place going to this one to go ahead and make the little torch looking things. But anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and connect these buildings together with the wooden railways because that's what I have the most of at the moment. And the conveyor belts are going to take a little while to go ahead and start kicking back into gear to be made. But I think I have all of the green ones made that we're going to need because we only need 50 of the yellow ones, and it's only a 1-to-1 for this building over here. So we should have enough of the green ones made. We need the red ones for this building, which is also a 1-to-1, I think. Oh no, it's actually a 2-to-1, but we should have enough, right? We're going to have 100 of those eventually because right now we should be at like 50. We're only at 30 because it takes 10 of the flowers to produce, so it's taken a little while, but we'll get there eventually. But once we have 100 of those, we're going to have enough of the red ones made to go ahead and meet whatever we need to go ahead and do for the yellow one. So we need the green ones coming here, the red ones going there, and then we need the torches this thing makes to go to the third one up there, and then we need the cloaks that the milk and the red ones are going to produce to go up there as well. So I'm just going to connect these things together with the little rail cars. I don't think we have a new train unlocked. I don't think that did anything for us. Oh, it actually unlocked the metal minecart, which might move quicker, or it might just carry more items. I'm not too sure. I think the locomotive would be the best thing for us to use, which in all honesty, I might try and just have this guy loop around, I guess, right? Have him loop out here, grab these things, loop over here, grab that, and then loop back around into this to fuel back up on the coal that it's using to run itself. Yeah, that's all this locomotive needs. It needs water and fuel, so we can just have wells connected to the tracks like this one is right here, and then we can have little boxes every now and again and have people filling those boxes with lumber, so then the train can just stop and fuel up as it's going. Since we can't actually make this yet, we have to research our way over to this. It'll let us kind of cheese it a little bit because we can't make this, we can't make those ones either. I think these are the metal minecarts. They are indeed. So we can just have this guy bringing things back and forth, and then eventually when the train clogs up with the stuff that we can't carry, we can just go ahead and have it empty into crates. So we can kind of cheese it like that, I think. Maybe that's how we do this. I'm going to go ahead and give that a go. I hope this thing can run on wooden rails. If not, then we're gonna kind of waste time here, but let me go ahead and clear out some of these tracks. I'm not gonna go too far with it because we don't have the storage to go ahead and store these planks. I think we're losing these. Yeah, we're only at 11 or 118 right now. So all of the wood that we put into this, we're just losing by deleting these right now, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. So since we have this stuff emptying into a crate right now, we can just go ahead and have our wooden rail over here, and we'll go ahead and set that on the loading thing. So rail controls, we need this to go ahead and load. Ooh, which one is it going to be? Is it going to be the minecart loader because it's pulling minecarts? I hope so. We'll go ahead and give that a go. And then we're going to have this thing kind of looping back the other way to go ahead and connect into the tracks that are already down. So we'll have to go ahead and delete some more trees here so we can go ahead and squeeze our train tracks through, or our rail tracks through. So that should work. Let me go ahead and place these things down like so. And I think we're just going to go ahead and connect into it like that. We need this guy to move out of the way because he's currently blocking the train. Thank you. Kindly go away now. So right now it has, what does it have in it? It has nothing in its inventory. So it's going to drive over here. We don't need the rail loader or unloader. We don't need that happening. We don't need it putting anything anywhere it doesn't need to be. So we need this to loop around to the other trading post, but we have conveyor belts down right here. So I think we're just going to go ahead and cut through the forest over here on this side as well, just to kind of make it easier on ourselves. And then we should be able to go ahead and just run the tracks through this. I don't really want to go up over the mountain like that, so let's go that away. That seems to work. We don't get too much elevation, so it should be fine. Let me delete that track a little bit here, and let's see. We are gonna go ahead and go around the tomatoes, so that should work. And then let's also go all the way down here. Let's remove these tracks, and then we can go ahead and continue on forward. There we go. Something like that should work. And then we need this to go ahead and loop back this way and go here. Do we just want to go over the mountain? Might be a lot easier to go over the mountain. Let's actually just keep it level, I guess. It's fine. It's not going to be that big of an issue. Let's go forward, and we're just going to go ahead and turn around the mountain here. So now we need this thing connecting to this building and dropping off the red ones. So I think what we'll do is actually have a couple crates taking the stuff off of the train, and then we'll have that conveyor into the building to kind of gain a little bit of space here. I think that should work. So that should drop the potions off in that chest, and then we need it to grab the potions from this chest. So let's grab some more rail. We're going to go from here downward, and then we can go ahead and actually delete these two things because those aren't necessary. We need this to connect into that rail there, so let's have this come around like so, and then we just need this thing to go ahead and go forward one more so that we get it away from that thing, and then we can have it turning. So we'll go that away. And again, I don't think this has to be that big of a turn. Actually, we'd need a space, it looks like. It won't let me make that turn. I don't know why it's not letting me make that turn. It let me make it other places. There we go. So yeah, we could have probably screwed that back by 1, but that should be fine. We're going to have this go down and around and then connect into the rail there. So now it's dropping off. We need it to load up on the green stuff. So where is my rail loader? We need you loading the green stuff onto the train. So dropping red, grabbing green, taking the green back over here, and then we need this dropping off into a crate as well. So let me go ahead and build another crate right over here, and we need a rail thing on this thing as well. So we need this to go ahead and take the green stuff off. I hope I can set filters. I can indeed. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have this guy grabbing the green out of the train, which are going to be these guys. Cool. And then we just need a conveyor belt taking from the chest and putting it right into the building. So it's pretty straightforward, I think. And that should be all we need to do to go ahead and get the greens and the reds bouncing between the two places here. We're going to have to keep an eye on the train to go ahead and have lumber and water being fed into the train to go ahead and keep it running. But I think we should be able to go ahead and unpause it to let it run. Let me actually set a filter on this really quick before we unpause it so that we don't accidentally have green going into that crate. And now we should be golden. Let's go ahead and unpause it, and we're going to go ahead and plop a couple of things here and there. So we are burning through the fuel kind of not that fast. So I'm going to go ahead and plop a well right here. Just to be safe, we're going to plop maybe like 4 of them down around the track here. So we'll do a well there. We will go ahead and throw we'll throw a crate over here as well. I actually needed this to go forward by 1. I didn't mean to give it a space like that. But we'll do a water load, and we'll also give it some lumber from this one as well. So let's do this. Let's do a train loader. I think that's what we need. Hold on, is there a different one? Yeah, we need a fuel loader. So let's do fuel. We're going to spawn in 2 people here. We're going to have them grabbing lumber and then putting it in the box. The train should grab the stuff as it goes by. And I wonder if that's going to be a thing that happens frequently here, because I didn't realize that the tracks were doing this. So we need you going there. Cool. Can I fix this? By deleting it, I suppose, is all we can do here. So let's go ahead and plop that like this. And let's see, is it going to stop and grab stuff? It didn't stop and grab the red stuff. So that's already off to a bad start.